Yo, what is up you guys? My name is Legolity Gamer and welcome back here guys to of course another video here on Call of Duty Black Ops 4. What I have for you guys today is my first ever nuclear gameplay with the ABR-223 assault rifle. And in today's video guys, I'm going to be covering the best class setup to use for the ABR-223. So if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure you guys go ahead, give it a like rating, and if you guys are new to here to the channel, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. And if you guys have any other type of suggestions that you guys want me to cover in a future video for any type of class setup, for any type of in-depth video, for any type of nuclear gameplays, make sure you guys go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into today's video. So like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this is my first nuclear here on Black Ops 4, and I have to admit guys, at the end you guys will see that I get probably one of the most clutch nuclears ever. Literally there was 10 seconds on the time and I get the last kill right before the game ends, so I think that definitely deserves a like rating for my first ever nuclear in this game. But like I said guys, we're going to be covering the ABR-223 in today's video. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the weapon. So this weapon is categorized in the tactical rifles section, and this weapon is a 3-round burst tactical rifle. So I have to say the ABR is definitely not the superior burst weapon of this game. So you guys remember back in Black Ops 3 we had the XR2 assault rifle, which was a burst weapon, and then we had the M8A7. And for you guys who have played Black Ops 3, you guys definitely know that the M8A7 was pretty much the master and superior burst weapon of Black Ops 3, and that's kind of how I feel a little bit with the ABR-223. This is kind of a downsized version to the superior king of the burst weapons, which is the Swordfish, and the Swordfish is unlocked at the last level, and I feel like Treyarch games usually like to make the burst weapons the last type of gun that you unlock within this game, and I feel like they do it just for the sole purpose because it's probably one of the most potent weapons to use within the game. So I'll go ahead and tell you guys my class setup right here. First of all, I'll show you guys a picture up top on screen so you guys can go ahead and copy this class setup for yourself, and then let me go ahead and talk about the attachments first of all. So first of all, we're using an optic sight, and we're using the ELO optic sight. Now I have said in many previous videos, not regarding Black Ops 4 but also in Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 3, I need to say that the ELO sight is my personal favorite optic sight to use within any type of game, and I'll tell you guys why. First of all, with an optic sight, a good optic sight, you want to have a clear view of your surrounding area. If you're using something like a recon sight, which is a 2x and a 4x magnification level, where you're going to pretty much have your whole dang screen covered up and you can't even see anything, and if you guys are using the recon sight, you're probably making a big mistake with your class setup. I would definitely suggest using the ELO sight. Now you could also use an alternative such as the red dot sight. Like I said guys, this is not a type of class setup where you're forced to use an attachment. You guys can open up your ideas, you guys can use any type of attachment that you guys feel is comfortable, but I'm just giving you guys some very good guidelines and some good suggestions to use. So the ELO sight is going to be beneficial, like I said, for the sole purpose of its accuracy and the clear view that we get of our vicinity. Moving on to our next attachment, we're using stock. Now for this particular stock attachment, we're using stock 1. And in my last class setup video, I have introduced that there are different types of variants to attachments. I have mentioned that there's something like a stock 1 and a stock 2, but for this class setup right now, we're going to be using stock 1 only. And for stock 1, simply what it does is it improves your movement speed while aiming. So basically you get to strafe much easier, and I have seen that strafing in this game really does help you out a lot in those gunfights. If you're facing multiple people from a longer distance, I can see that strafing is so much more of an asset because you can just dodge the bullets and you can just outgun people very easily. So I think stock is definitely going to be a helpful attachment, and it's going to increase your maneuverability, allowing you to facilitate your movement much more easier when you're using this assault rifle. Now moving on with our next attachment, we're using extended mags. Extended mags is something I like to use because in my opinion, two worst type of scenarios that you can get in any type of first-person shooter, whether it be Fortnite, Battlefield, Call of Duty, whatever it is first of all getting shot in the back. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have experienced that. If you guys haven't, well then God bless you, man. I don't know what you guys are doing with your life, but like I said, getting shot in the back is definitely one of the most obnoxious things that can happen in any type of FPS game. And then second of all is reloading in the middle of a gunfight. gunfight. No one wants to do that. I mean, extended mags is going to help you out so much. It's going to increase our magazine capacity to 42, which I think is very reasonable with this type of weapon, considering that it is a burst. I think 42 bullets in a magazine is definitely a very feasible type of compensation that you can have with extended mags. So that is the main reason why we're using extended mags, just so we don't have to reload in the middle of a gunfight. Now, I'm going to introduce a new type of attachment that we haven't seen in any type of previous Call of Duties, and to use this attachment, we have to use a wild card. And for this wild card, we're using the primary operator mod. Now, this is going to allow us to unlock the last attachment that you guys can actually unlock with this weapon, which is the repeater. That's literally what it's called. I'm going to go ahead and read the definition for the repeater and give you guys an overview. So it's an advanced auto burst mechanism that allows each successive burst to fire with a shorter delay as the trigger is held down. Now, speaking in a more generic way, basically what that means is as soon as you hold down the trigger, if it's R2 or R1, whatever you guys are playing with on your PS4, Xbox One, whatever is your shoot button, or your trigger, excuse me, whenever you hold it down, it simply initiates the burst level. So you don't have to instantly tap the trigger button anymore. You can just simply hold it down, and it will initiate intervals of each successive burst. So it's gonna help out a lot. And I have seen that when you're in those short-range gunfights, when you're facing someone with an SMG or you're facing someone with a shotgun, I see that the repeater mod definitely comes in handy so many times, because you can just outgun your enemy opponents so much more faster, just because of the purpose that the bursts are much more quicker, much more efficient, and they're just going to help you guys to win more gunfights. So I think the repeater mod is definitely something good. That's basically what we're going to use for our attachments here, and I think it's definitely going to help you guys out just to be more efficient and to utilize the full potential that you really can bring out with this weapon, because like I said, it's not the superior burst rifle in this game. I'm going to be honest, it is going to be the swordfish, but since we're covering this weapon, and since I'm going to show you guys how to really use the full potential of this gun, we're going to be using that repeater mod, and it's going to help us very much when you're winning those close range gunfights. Okay, so now moving on into the perks. For perk 1, we're using Scavenger, a really self-explanatory perk. This is simply just going to allow us to resupply our ammunition, so if you guys are ever going to go on a long streak, or you guys want to continue a good streak, then Scavenger is going to help you guys out. Now for perk 3, we're using Dead Silence. Now, although we're not using a stealth class setup, most people suspect that whenever you have Dead Silence, it kind of correlates with a stealthy class setup, but in this case, we're not actually using a stealthy class setup. You guys have seen that we're simply not running a suppressor. Now, I'm using Dead Silence, so this can help us out to flank around the enemy lines. It's going to help us to stay more inconspicuous, and it's going to also help us against enemies who have the acoustic sensor. Now, the acoustic sensor is a gear that you guys can unlock in this game, and basically the whole purpose of the acoustic sensor is to easily hear when movements are done by enemies. So basically, you can hear them much more easily. It's kind of like awareness from previous Call of Duties. So that's why we're using Dead Silence. It's going to help us to counteract that, so we can get behind the enemy team and just ultimately just take down the enemies. So that is why we're using Dead Silence. Now, as for our gear, we're using the Cosmic Device, actually. Now, I have mentioned it in my last ICR class setup. I have said the two favorite gears that I like to use in this game are the Stim Shot and the Cosmic Device, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Cosmic Device for the first time. So basically, this is kind of like a hardline perk. It allows you to get score streaks much more easily, and score streaks are earned at a discounted cost. Now, you guys will see in this gameplay that I'm using two type of lethal score streaks. I'm using the Strike Team, and I'm also using the Heli Sniper. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the Strike Team, because this kind of relates to the nuclear that I got in this gameplay. The Strike Team is very distinct in this game, because it's the only type of score streak where you can get kills that actually count towards your nuclears. Whenever you get kills with the Strike Team, it actually counts, and you can therefore build up your 30 gun streak. Well, not necessarily gun streak, but your 30 streak within the game. So that's why we're using the Cosmic Device, and it's going to help us to get our score streaks much more faster, much more easily, and that's why we're using that. But like I said, you can be open-minded about this class setup. You guys don't have to be restricted just to these type of devices or these type of gears that I'm showing you guys explicitly in this video. You guys can use something like the Stim Shot, which I also like to use, and I've covered in my last video. It basically allows you to regenerate your health faster and also regenerate more frequently. This is going to be the class setup, guys, for the ABR-223, a very strong, a very solid class setup in my opinion. And if you guys have any other type of additional ideas that you guys want to add in the comment section down below, make sure you guys leave them. If you guys want to see another attachment, or if I missed an optic sight, or if I missed a perk that you guys could suggest, make sure you guys go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. Also, while you're at it, make sure you guys tell me if this class setup did help you out, and like I said, make sure you guys go ahead, stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to have so much more class setups to cover within this video because I'm having so much fun with Black Ops 4, and this game definitely was kind of a redemption to World War II from last year's Call of Duty. But anyway, hopefully you guys will have a blessed day, enjoy this class setup, guys, and I will see you all next time. God bless this nation. Peace out, guys. Peace.